We are walking towards the famous Albert Cuyp market. How did this market become so enormously famous and how did it develop? What has changed during the time and how did the market affect the Cuyp as a neighborhood? What are the important influences that it became like this today? This is how the area at the south of Amsterdam looked like. However, in the face of city-wide housing shortages, the idyllic environment went through a process of development, becoming a building environment. Amsterdam began to build up a neighborhood now called the Cuyp. Located to the south of Amsterdam, the area became more and more industrial during the 17th century. In 1900, there were living around 50,000 people in the Cuyp. For street vendors, this was an attractive place to sell their goods. It wasn't a question of there came a market in this area, but when. The Albert Cuypstraat was an attractive place because of the width of the street compared to the characteristic small streets of the rest of the neighborhood. Street vendors could easily put their wooden carts on the streets.
My father-in-law founded the business 50 years ago. He came to this spot close to the market because there are a lot of people here. And then the market was a lot different from today. Today it's mostly shirts and socks and telephone equipment. And then it was mostly vegetables, fish, meat, chicken. It was much more a market for the common workman. And nowadays, the market changed to a tourist market. It's about 50% tourists nowadays. I work here now for 15 years and I've seen the change. When I came here, it was all little shops. And now the shops, they mostly disappear and we make place for horeca, all beer and food.
Gaat u meteen opeten meneer? Ja. Je kan nog wat peper en mayo doen.
When the shop was my father-in-law's, most people bought fresh fish, which they cleaned themselves and they prepared at home. Nowadays, fewer people make the fish at home. It's all convenient food. About 80% is eaten in or outside the shop. I think that it's a blessing that the tourists all come to this part of Amsterdam because how do you say it? The native people, they all buy at grocery shops. And they, mostly young people, and they don't go for the quality of food, they just go for the convenience. And tourists, they like to be surprised and they like to spend money on good food. So I think it's a blessing that the tourists come to this part of town.
Okay, hi, we come from Luxembourg, and we stay here for some days and we like the market because you can just walk around and have a look what you could buy.
I like the food, and we you buy these lenses here?
Yeah. And I buy also a shampoo. Yes. I think we will go eat something.
So as you can see, there are a lot of different people coming here and there is a lot of diversity in the offer on the market. How did that come and how has this changed during the time? In the 60s, a lot of guest workers from Morocco, Turkey, Suriname, but also Spain came to Amsterdam to work here. Because the house prices in the Cuyp were quite cheap, a lot of them came to live here. They also brought their culture with them, and during the time, you could find this back in the offer on the Albert Cuyp market, because the people wanted the products of their original country. The Cuyp and its Albert Cuyp market became a very lively and multicultural place with a good vibe. Also, people from other parts of Amsterdam noticed this and came to the Albert Cuyp market for their groceries. The Albert Cuyp market transformed from a neighborhood market into a market where everyone from the city came to.
More than a century after its humble beginnings, the Albert Cuyp market continues to delight and amuse visitors with its convivial atmosphere and outstanding variety of products. You'll definitely want to add a visit to the Cuyp to your own travel guide. Just make sure you're up for a smile and aren't in a rush when you visit.
En iedereen die in de markt die herkent me als een oude lid van de markt. En ze vinden me leuk in de markt.